And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, October 4th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company. Our guest host today, Larry Tomlinson.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Coleman and Company. We thank you for tuning in. This is Larry Tomlinson, and I'm sitting in for Coleman today, and I guess Coleman is on a special assignment somewhere. But we got MJ back there behind the glass running the board, and Billy is producing the show, so we're going to have a good show. But first of all, we need to pay some bills. We got Bob McDonald, Cedar Stone Bacon, with us this morning. Good morning, Bob.
Larry, good morning, and it's great to be with you. Thank you for letting me join you by phone. Appreciate you putting up with me that way. Appreciate Billy and MJ getting me hooked up to you.
Oh, that's a good deal. Yeah. Well, how's everything at Cedar Stone Bank?
Everything is great, Larry. And I tell you, before we talk about some of that, I just want you to know how much Susan thinks of Pam. They worked together for many years over there at the hospital, and Pam's one of Susan's favorite people. She just always had so much respect for how she conducted her business, how she was always so professional and polite to people and kind and great at what she did. And so Susan's always thought so highly of Pam, and she enjoys seeing Pam when she can. I know she enjoyed seeing you and Pam a week or so ago at the Heritage Dinner for the Black History Committee. So just whenever I see you, I always make sure I tell you that Pam's got a big fan in Susan.
Well, she thinks the world of Susan too, Bob, and I think Pam's in Florida right now, but I think she's listening to us this morning, so she's probably hearing all those kind words, but I'll be sure and tell her too if she don't, but I appreciate that, and you and Susan, y'all mean a lot to our family, and we appreciate your friendship so much.
That's nice of you to say. We certainly feel the same about all of y'all. Y'all have always been very kind to us, and I always enjoyed being with you when you fill in for Coleman.
Well, I enjoy doing this. It's sort of makes me feel good that I don't know how Coleman all these years has got up this early, but that's the only thing. I don't know how he's done that for all those years. Yeah.
Well, we were talking before we came on the air. I know you and your group went up to Knoxville on Saturday and saw the Big Orange have a good day.
It was a good day, much better than whenever they went down to Florida. But but MJ, she's back there giving us a chomp on that. But maybe they found their way now, Bob. They played the best game they played in a while up there against a good football team too in South Carolina. But it's hard to win on the road in the conference. You got to win your home game.
There's so many good teams in the conference, and most of them have really great stadiums and great fan bases and great students and alumni, and you start getting into conference play, and every game has a little special nuance to it, a little special history, and that certainly is the case with South Carolina. And they got us last year at their place, as you know. I'm sure y'all were there.
Yeah.
I'd like to get them back. Do you like it when they wear those black jerseys and black pants?
Well, I'm a traditionalist, but if the players like it and the recruits like it, that's what it's all about now. And but I will say this, man, it was electric up there Saturday night. Man, they dimmed those lights and put those strobes on them, and whenever they had that flyover with I thought sure those two F-16s were going to go vertical on us because they had the flames coming out of the back of them, but they didn't. But it was something to see. And when the band formed the T, and it looked like they sort of illuminated them a little bit. I don't know where you could tell it on TV, but it was something to see. Yeah.
Wow.
It really was. And then we played.
That's nothing like it when they form that T and the team runs through that. That's a great tradition.
Yeah. Y'all got anything special going on at Cedar Stone?
Well, we'll tell you what, Larry, we're very, very busy. We've just entered the fourth quarter, the final 3 months of the year, which is very hard to believe how quickly the year has come by. It's been a good year for the bank. there's still some, from a national standpoint, there's still some economic uncertainty. We've seen the Fed increase rates less this year than they did last year, which is a good thing. I think from everything I read, they believe they're starting to get a grip on inflation, but they're not completely convinced yet. So there's a lot of speculation that there may be one more interest rate increase before the year ends when they meet. But hopefully we'll see things begin to stabilize in 2024, and we'll see inflation continue to moderate. But I tell you, Larry, there's still a lot of confidence out there here in your listening area. Consumers and businesses remain very confident. Wages continue to be strong, and unemployment is low, and stock market's taken a bit of a hit the last few weeks, but it'll bounce back. But overall, there's still a lot of good things going on in the economy, and that's what's prompting us to be so busy at the bank.
Bob, we're very fortunate in the area that we live in that we haven't experienced a lot of the things that they have across the country, as far as unemployment and that kind of thing. We're blessed to live where we do. I really believe that.
Well, we are, and we were in a meeting last week, our board was, and we were with a company that we work with, and he's an economist, and he was commenting on how the area is the hottest spot in the entire country, that everything is really good here, and we're not experiencing some of the problems that you're seeing in some other larger cities like Chicago, San Francisco, New York, in terms of commercial real estate having a problem and those types of things. So we are very fortunate with our economy here. It's a very diversified economy, Larry, as you know, and that's what helps benefit what conditions that we're in right now.
All right. Well, we've got a table full of 4-H'ers sitting around here. Anything you want to say in closing?
No, that's it, Larry. It's great to be with you, and thank you for always being so kind to me. And please tell Pam hello, and we look forward to seeing y'all again soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Bob. Cedarstone Bank, our sponsor for the first half of Coleman this morning, and we thank Bob McDonald for joining us on the phone. So right now we're going to move right on into our program, and we got Miss Grace Harville from the 4-H Extension Office over here with us this morning. Grace, you've got a table full of folks with you.
Yes, sir.
You want to do the introductions, and we'll get right into what's going on.
Yes. So we have Samuel Cordray, John Hancock, and Miracle Brown, and they're 4-H members here in Wilson County, and they do many different activities. So I'll let them speak a little bit.
All right. Let's start with Samuel first.
Yes, hello. My name is Samuel Cordray. I am in the 8th grade, and I do all things 4-H.
Okay.
Everything from photography to archery to livestock judging to horse, everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My name's John Hancock. I'm in the 10th grade, so I do, like Sam, pretty much all things 4-H, livestock judging. I'm a Healthy Living Ambassador this year. All sorts of judging teams. I do quite a bit of things.
Good morning. My name is Miracle Brown. I'm also pretty involved with 4-H. I'm currently serving as a Healthy Living Ambassador, and I'm a part of judging teams, two of my favorites being consumer decision making and livestock judging.
Well, thank you all for the introductions, and that's really good. And I guess all of you all were involved with the Wilson County / Tennessee State Fair. Is that right, Grace? Y'all had a big presence out there?
Yes, sir, we did. We had some of our 4-H'ers helping us in our chicken shack, which is one of our biggest fundraisers that we have throughout the year. And then we also had some that helped in the 4-H and FFA building doing different kinds of demonstrations.
Yeah. Well, what kind of experience was that for you all to see and be around all those people at the fair? I don't guess you all been here since the fair, so it's good to talk about that. How did you react to all those 100,000 people and the new building things? Yeah.
I thought it was really good to be able to work at the fair and like interact with all those people, and it was sometimes yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it pretty good.
I think being able to talk to like the younger generations was something that was really just amazing, and getting them being able to talk to them about like what 4-H is and introducing that to them was really amazing.
Samuel?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting getting to see how the fair ran and seeing how all of the different moving parts all fit together and make a great experience.
Okay. We'll get into this a little bit more in depth here in just a few minutes, but I think now it's about time that we take a break. MJ, take us to a break.
Excellent. Thanks, Larry. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still got heavy traffic right now. 65 South trying to get down from the north there at Trinity Lane. That earlier wreck triggered that early backup. Traffic's still heavy right now. 24 westbound coming out of Traffic coming in from Dixon County. Still like that right now. Hotchicken.com.
Happy anniversary. This is Sheila Grewing from Wilson Bank and Trust.
This cheer a happy 30th anniversary. This is
Congratulations, Susie James and WANT, 30 years of excellence in radio.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment virtually, by phone, or in person to review your specific needs and find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Coleman Company. Larry Tomlinson sitting in for Coleman today. And this is National 4-H Week, and we have three folks with us today. Part of the Wilson County 4-H, later Grace Harville, and Morgan Beatty's here also this morning. So, Grace, I'm going to sort of turn it over to you and let you talk about what National 4-H Week is all about and what you all do this week.
So for National 4-H Week, it's basically just a way for us to advocate for all of the good things that we're doing in 4-H in Wilson County, as well as what they're doing on the state level as well. So this week we have different days that we're celebrating. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday, so that was a day where 4-H donors and supporters can give money to the 4-H organization or to different 4-H groups like our 4-H group in Wilson County, as well as just an overall state donation. But we also have different events going on during this week. Today, we're also going to the mayor's office and hoping to get him to sign a proclamation for National 4-H Week. And we also are posting things on our Facebook and Instagram pages. So if you follow Wilson County TN 4-H or on Instagram, we're Wilson 4-H, you'll see some of our posts that we've made for National 4-H Week.
Morgan, anything you want to add to that?
I was just going to say Friday is Flashback Friday. So if you're on Facebook and you've been in 4-H since, anytime in the last 20 years or so, you might find some familiar faces on Facebook on Friday.
Well, you have to go back to about 60 years to get anything from me on 4-H, but I was a member of the 4-H club, and I think back in the day we had a little sign that you could hang on your gate. 4-H club member lives here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long time ago. But like I said, we had Sandra Conrad, John Hancock, and Miracle Brown here today. And the Miracle, anything you want to add right now?
National 4-H Week. This has been a really amazing week. As someone who's active on social media, being able to see a bunch of people just coming together and sharing their experiences has been really amazing. I know my time in 4-H hasn't been as long as most people who are in 4-H, but the community, it's amazing. It's really unlike any other, and I recommend it to everyone. It's amazing.
John, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Miracle. It's really cool. I feel like 4-H does a lot of great things for all sorts of people all across the nation and the state, and it's really cool to see all sorts of everybody recognizing 4-H and for this week and stuff like that.
Yeah, Samuel.
It's just really cool to see all of the different things that 4-H offers and seeing just all the different kids that are in it. It's just really cool.
Coming up pretty soon.
It's normally the entire month of June is when we have our day camp, and then the end of June is when we have our junior camp, whenever we take 4th through 6th graders to the 4-H camp in Crossville.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we got over 200 kids to one of the camps that happened this summer. It's over 200 kids total. So.
Time at the Ag Center, you would always bring in the buses and load them up down there in the front lot. They take off to Crossville, I guess is where you went.
Yep.
Yeah, sure is. Well, tell us a little bit about what all y'all got going on this week, or what you've been done so far to get to where you're at. We'll start with you, Sam.
Yeah, so I believe we're going later today to the mayor's office to get a bill signed, and then just get some pictures recognizing 4-H throughout everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in Honor Club as vice president, and we get to do a lot of cool service projects and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like I said, we'll be going to the mayor's office later today. As the Healthy Living ambassador, we've got a few things coming up this month, and then we'll have the Honor Club meeting too when I'll have that this month, and then there's some judging teams and stuff that are practicing and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, our poultry team is going to the state contest this Saturday in Knoxville to compete at that. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah. Miracle?
Yes, as a member on the poultry team, so excited for that. State competition is going to be so great. Very excited for that. Yeah, also a Healthy Living ambassador, so we have a couple things planned throughout this month, this week, and just advocating on social media, just making sure to get the word of 4-H out. I think it's very important during this week and every day, of course. And
now, tell me exactly, Healthy Living ambassador, what does that mean? What does that entail? Whatever one wants to answer.
Yeah, we promote healthy living and kind of all the aspects of healthy living. Like there's physical health and mental health and financial health, and there's all sorts of different aspects of your health. So we promote that to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, healthy living. I feel like it's definitely something that's installed within all ages and can come in various different aspects. And as Healthy Living ambassadors, I think it's really important that we focus on the different aspects, like John said, mental health, physical health, and etc.
Yeah. Well, we hear a lot about mental health today in our younger people, and a lot of folks think that only affects the older generation, but we know that it does affect kids, your guys, your age, so glad to know y'all doing that, Grace. That's a good program. The chicken show, will that be at UTK in Knoxville?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, good. All right. Yeah. Tell us more about you, Samuel. What do you got? You got anything much going on this summer?
Had a bunch of livestock judging and just a whole ton of livestock teams. So,
yeah,
just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Now, do you raise your own calves and cows?
We do have some cattle, and then we have goats and chickens.
Okay. All right. Now, what do you show? Both goats and cattle?
I show goats right now, and then we may go into cattle next year.
Yeah. Now you have what brand of goats or what breed do you have?
Boar goats.
Boar goats. Yeah. Now they're more like a beef goat, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you sell them?
We will once we get to a healthy herd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a big herd, but yeah.
And they get to be a big goat too, don't they?
They get pretty big.
Yeah. Now they have y'all still have a big show at the Ward Ag Center?
Yes.
The big bull goat show?
That's the Tennessee State Fair goat show, meat goat show.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Grace, Warren, what y'all got? Talk to us.
Well, they mentioned poultry judging, and I think that's kind of a big thing right now. We're getting ready for that contest this Saturday. What they didn't tell you is they had to compete last week at the regional contest and be in the top 4. I think they were 3rd place overall, but the top 4 teams go to state. So that's we won 3rd place at regionals to get that honor to go to state. So they've been working really hard on poultry judging.
Where was that held? Where was that competition held?
That was in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
So last week. And yeah, poultry judging, if you've never done poultry judging before, there's like 8 parts to that contest. So they're grading eggs multiple different ways and judging a set of hens, giving reasons on those hens. They're grading cuts of meat and identifying different cuts of meat and things like that. So it's a pretty cool contest.
Yeah. Did any of you all's chickens wind up at the at the barbecue house out there at the fair? Yeah, none of them. No. Okay. Yeah. Well, y'all forgot when you talked about having the working over there in the 4-H booth during the fair. You didn't mention the pork sandwiches. That's about my favorite thing.
That's what I've heard from a lot of people. I enjoyed the chicken, but ironically, I never got to have any of the pork.
Oh, I like the chicken too. Yeah.
So definitely next year I'll have to try it.
But those pork sandwiches were good. The only thing about them, they just wasn't big enough. For me anyway. Yeah.
I think all of them helped at some point with the chicken shack.
Yeah.
Too. So
I think I may have saw a couple of them in there. At one point, at one time or another, you see so many folks out there. And I had a wonderful experience the 19 years that I worked up there as a director, working with all the 4-H people and the ag extension agencies. So it was a good time, and y'all do a wonderful job. And we got about 2 or 3 more minutes here before we close out, but I'd like for each one of you to take a minute and just tell a little bit what 4-H has really meant to you. And I know you all are very professional. You're poets. You speak real well. Do you still have a public speaking part of the 4-H?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
And I can see that they've been through a part of that, and I always enjoyed that. But tell us what 4-H has meant to you here in the next minute, and we'll close this thing out.
So it's helped me make so many different friends in so many different project groups. Mm-hmm. Like I have photography friends that do that. I have friends that do archery, friends that do livestock judging, horse bowling, hippology, all of that kind of stuff. And so many life skills that you learn from it. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can learn how to do public speaking, photography, archery, meat judging, livestock judging. Just the life skills that you learn are incredible.
Yeah. John?
Yep. I've really enjoyed the learning aspect of learning all sorts of different things, and it's all stuff that you can like apply to your life and pretty much everything you do. And you can like kind of explore your interests with 4-H. So I've been able to explore all sorts of like poultry and public speaking and all the different interests I have. And I've really enjoyed all the different people coming together and getting to meet all sorts of people and make all sorts of friends, like the big state events like Roundup, where you can meet people from all across the state and make friends in all sorts of project areas and friends from all sorts of different places. So I've really enjoyed the learning and the making friends aspect, like Sam said.
Good. Miracle?
Kind of like John mentioned, 4-H Roundup. Oh my goodness. I got to attend that over the summer. It was life-changing. I got to meet so many 4-H friends, and just, it really showed me how impactful the organization is. Like, there's so many different groups and people, and everyone just at one time, at a certain time, gets to come together and just interact with each other, and we're all under the same, like, common ground, kind of. Mm-hmm. We all are for leadership and advocacy, and it's really amazing, and I've just loved being a part of 4-H. It's been great.
Grace, I'm going to let you close us out here and tell us the ages now that you can be, what age group 4-H starts and goes through.
Yes, so traditionally 4-H starts in 4th through 12th grade, but we also have a program here in Wilson County called Clover Buds that's for kindergarten through 3rd grade that basically exposes youth that are younger than 4th grade to stuff that 4-H can offer. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the Samuel Condrey, John Hancock, and Miracle Brown being here. Grace Harwell, their leader, Maureen Beatty from the Ag Extension Office. That'll do us for the first part of Coleman and Company. MJ, take us to a break.
Thanks, Larry. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Beats Ford, the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. That traffic's really starting to load up now and get heavy on 24 West up through the Hickory Hollow area. Coming in right now from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County towards Nashville. It's a little bit slow, it looks like, here on 40 eastbound, just past 840, coming in from Dixon County, headed towards Kingston Springs, so give yourself extra time if you're in Dixon right now, headed towards Nashville. Hey, don't miss it this year, Smoky Mountain Fall Festival at Ober-Gatlinburg, now through the end of the month. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedar Stone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedar Stone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane and Crowell. At the offices of Kane and Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane and Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
Mostly sunny skies through the day today. This is going to be the warmest day we see for quite some time. That high of about 85. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, down to around 62. Mostly cloudy skies for your Thursday, high of 79. We'll see mid-60s by the weekend. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com, where they know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
Good morning and welcome back to the second half of the Coleman Show here on WANT, the big 98.9. And we're glad that you're listening to us this morning and hope that Coleman is enjoying himself wherever he might be today. And the second half of the show was brought to you by Kane and Crowell attorneys here in Lebanon. And we're pleased to have Bryson Eubanks with us this morning. Rick Bell, the mayor of Rick Bell, will be our guest here. Right now, we're going to talk to Bryson a little bit about Kane and Crowell and what they got going over there. And what he specializes in is, I'm going to call elder care.
Yeah, that's fine. Elder care, elder law, that's all good. Yeah, either one.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit what all's going on, Bryson.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to mention while I was here this morning is I think Mary Alice was here last Wednesday, and I just wanted to re-edify what she talked about was that open enrollment is coming up here for a lot of our aging individuals, aging seniors, that now's a good time to take a look at the Medicare, the type of maybe supplement that you have to your Medicare. And one of the reasons I wanted to, again, re-edify that was I talked to someone 2 weeks ago that she got in and talked to the right person, and this makes a big deal in people's lives to make sure that you have the right coverage that essentially goes along with your Medicare to take care of hospitals and things like that. She was able to save almost $800 a month on the coverage that she has, and she's going to continue to get the same thing she was getting. She just got into the right plan. So as open enrollment comes up here on October 15th and goes through a time in December, I just wanted to restate again, especially in what we do in our elder law world, this is super important for people to take time during this time period to go see, am I in the right thing? Am I making the right decisions? And if you don't have someone that you trust and you know that you can have those conversations with, then call us over at the office at 615-784-4800, and we're happy to get you with someone that we use and trust that frankly, I've sent my own family to, because I know they're going to put people in the right things that they need, not the things that make them money.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know from experience, my sister and I, we several years ago, we went to an elder care, I'm going to call him an elder care attorney, and they really sort of guided us along with my mom and dad.
Wasn't in Hendersonville, was it?
Yes, it was.
Well, I was probably working there at the time whenever you came.
Well,
that was who I used to work for a long, long time before I knew I wanted to come back to Lebanon and really hopefully help folks here where I grew up.
I can't remember who it was that directed us in that direction, but it was a good thing. And I would suggest that anybody that's listening to us this morning that has parents that are well, even like my girls ought to probably be looking at doing something other for Pam and I, but it's a good thing to do, Bryce.
It is, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to come back this way, is that, just to continue to, some of the things that are already happening here in town, push them and hopefully push them to a greater level to help do some of those things. So if you really want to stay here in town, you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Anything else you'd like to tell us about Kane and Crowell this morning?
Yeah, the only other thing I might like to mention is we've got a few years now before there are going to be some major changes in regards to some of the tax situations that some people here in town and folks that are listening might be into, where that inheritance tax limit from a federal standpoint is going to go down. So about 11 million right now. It's going to go down, and we don't actually really know the number it's going to go down to. It may be 5 million, it may be 1 million, but one of the things I wanted to mention is one of the things that you can look to do if you get into that situation in a few years here is charitable giving, okay? And the reason I wanted to mention that is we have so many good things here in Tennessee, like St. Jude, like with Jenny Bennett over at Cumberland University, or one of the guys I'm in Leadership Wilson with right now. There's something I didn't realize was here in town, where they're trying to help individuals that age out of foster care, in homes and things like that, to really have them a place to stay. So I just wanted to mention that is, as if you think that's something that's an issue for you, there's so many good things you can do. Go ahead before the next 2 or 3 years and get in to talk to our office or someone like our office that, like you said, I focus my practice on elder law, but we also do those things too, to prepare other things of, if you want to give, let us help you do it the right way so that you benefit yourself and the other folks you want to help.
All right. Well, we want to thank Kane and Crowell for being a sponsor here for the Coleman and Company show, and Bryson Eubanks for being here with us this morning. And if you are looking for someone to help you with some elder care, Bryson would be a fine guy to go see. And their number over there on Cottage Street is 615-784-4800. That's Kane and Crowell attorneys, and they have a whole staff of people that are there in their office that's willing to help you with anything that you need in the legal aspect of what may be going on in your life. So we encourage you to go by and see Kane and Crowell, those fine folks over there at 133 South College Street here in Lebanon. Once again, their phone number, 615-784-4800. And Bryson, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
All right, Mayor Bell, how are you?
Good morning, Larry.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Sounds like you're doing a good job today.
Well, I'm trying to hold everything in the road, Got MJ keeping me on track back there, Got her back behind this big glass, and she's got a nice big console she's working off of, and she's already given me the gator chop once this morning, but I don't think she was chomping too much on Saturday when they played up in Kentucky.
Well, as I told Coleman a couple weeks ago, it doesn't matter how bad Florida is and how good Tennessee is. Florida's going to win. We know that.
It looks like that. Yeah, it sure does. We had a good time Saturday night, though, didn't we?
Well, we did. That was a great game. The crowd was rocking, and they were shooting off the fireworks a lot. It was a good night.
Yeah. Anytime that you hear Rocky Top play that much, it's a good night.
That's right.
Yeah. How'd your council meeting go last night?
The council went good last night. There were several things that happened, but before I talk about that, I just want to offer my condolences to Marcia Ash and the Ash family for the passing of Bernie. You and I were together Saturday when I got the call that Bernie had passed away suddenly, and Bernie meant a lot to this community. He served this community in a lot of ways, and he served this country too in Vietnam, and we're going to miss him. Bernie was a really good person and a really big part of this community and its history, and so I just offer my prayers to the Ash family for their loss.
Well, I know they appreciate those comments, and I was by the church last night and saw Marcia and planned on getting back and going to the service today at 11 o'clock. But Bernie was a good public servant, not only as the mayor, but all the things that he's done for the veterans here in our community. And Bernie and I go back a long way, and Bernie, he had a place in his heart for Cushman Eagles, especially Silver Eagle motor scooters, and I've got one too. And I was telling Marcia last night that the last time I talked to Bernie, he and I were planning on doing a little ride and going down off of 109 to see a friend of ours that's got one. We were going to ride down there, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But I appreciate what you said about Bernie, and I know the Ash family does too. And like you say, he was a good public servant.
He really was.
Yeah.
Well, last night we did have a council meeting, and several things happened. One, I announced that Debbie Lowe is going to serve on planning commission. We have an opening, and so Debbie, she lives in Ward 1, and so I appreciate her agreeing to do that. And Colton Dow was at the council meeting last night with his father Chris and a lot of the members of the Dow family, and we gave Colton a proclamation last night congratulating him on his football career, not just his past career, but his future career. And yesterday we declared that Colton Dow Day. And so he was there last night. I appreciate him coming to that. I know he's awfully busy these days. And, he was on the field Sunday for the Titans. And as I told him last night, I know this has been a lot of hard work on his behalf through the years, but he's living the dream of a lot of little kids, and he's living the dream of a lot of us adults too. And so he's worked hard at that, and we just want to congratulate him. So we offered that proclamation last night.
I believe I saw in the box score or in the storyline, he was on the field for like 19 plays.
He was out there a lot. He was out there a lot. So obviously, him being from Lebanon and being in the NFL, that's big for us too. And so I just want to congratulate him last night with that proclamation.
Yeah. Well, I know all of his family, his grandparents, and all the Robert and his wife. They're really proud of Colton, and so is all the Dow family. We're all proud of him. And I've told Chris that night. I told Chris that that we heard. You and I was told by a guy that Chris was bootlegging Titan merchandise out of the trunk of his car. But he said that wasn't true. So but we did hear that, didn't we, Rick?
Yeah. We did hear that. I'm glad to know that's not the case.
I am too. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and talk about the city for just
a couple things that were voted on last night that I think are important. The council last night voted to accept the bids for a new traffic signal at Horn Springs Road.
That's needed.
It is, and it's been paid for by developers, which is always a good thing. But that's a traffic signal that people on Horn Springs have been wanting for a long, long time, and it's coming now. So the bids last night was first reading. We'll fully accept the bids in 2 weeks, and then they'll start the process. But I do want people to know that it'll be on it next year before it's finished. It takes a while to get those traffic signals up. One of the things people don't realize is that those poles have to be built specifically for each intersection. So it takes a while to get them built. But it is coming. People have asked about it, and it'll be coming soon.
Well, all right, for that information, and I know everybody on that side of town is glad to hear that, and I know I am because I visit that area down here quite often. But it's time for a break at this time, so MJ, take us to a break.
Thanks, Larry. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Ride it off the lot. Ride it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's trying to clear up this crash that's north of town on 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. It is really heavy now coming through Hermitage, making your way westbound on I-40 as you come in from Wilson County right now through Hermitage, Donaldson. 24 still carrying a heavy volume of traffic, but that's been in pretty good shape so far. And 24 west coming in from Rutherford County up through the Hickory Hollow area. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is hiring at all 4 locations. Check them out today at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment virtually, by phone, or in person to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
This is Tracy Pope with Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Thank you, WANT 98.9 FM, for being an essential business for entertainment, programming, and news in Wilson County. Congratulations on 30 successful years.
This is Philip Craighead. I would like to wish WANT FM 98.9 a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Tommy Bryan, voice of Blue Devil football, wishing WANT and WCOR a happy 30th anniversary.
Good morning and welcome back into Coleman and Company. Once again, it's Larry Tomlinson sitting in for Coleman this morning, and my guest is Mayor Rick Bell from the city of Lebanon. And always glad to have Rick here and tell us, keep us updated on what's going over with the city government. And I know they got a lot going on. They got a lot of paving going on around town. Rick, I guess you're right in the middle of all that.
We are right in the middle of our paving contract. That's been going on for several months now, and they'll keep going as long as the weather holds up. And, Kristen Rice is our traffic engineer, and she's over our capital projects, and she works with Jeff Baines and myself to put a list together of priority. We can't get to all the streets, so we prioritize, and then as we get them paved, we start the list back over the next year. But that's a lot of work that's being done out there, and so as people drive around, just know it's happening. But, the roads are going to be better once it's finished. There's a couple other things that happened last night that I do want to mention. One is we're moving forward with our pickleball courts. We're building 4 of those over behind the Jimmy Floyd Center, and last night we talked about surfacing them and getting that process done. So they're coming along really well. Alex Major, who's the director of the Jimmy Floyd Center, he's overseeing that. So that's something a lot of people are looking forward to and ask about a lot. So we're getting those done. And then something else that I talked about 2 weeks ago, and last night was second reading, so it's official now. Fire Chief Jason Baird and I have been working on a plan to stop developmental burning. So when a subdivision goes in or something like that, they knock down trees and they pile the trees up and they burn them. Well, that's something that in more recent years has become an issue for neighbors as far as ash falling on the cars or the smell, the smoke, and even when people are following the rules, it's still, those things still happen. And also, Jason, his guys spent a lot of time when they get calls going out there and checking on that. So he and I decided that the best thing to do is just stop developmental burning. And so that was passed on second reading last night. So beginning November 1st, any development that takes place in town, they will have to mulch the trees and take care of the wood that way. So I think that's something that's going to be helpful, not just to our fire department, but to the citizens who live here as well.
Well, that's probably a good thing. And the mulch, I guess, could be recycled.
It can be. It can be. And he put a date on November 1st so people can get adjusted to it. But this is a rule that's in place in other cities. So developers, they understand this. And so I'm glad the City Council passed that last night. And I think it's going to be something going into the future is really going to be a positive for us.
Mm-hmm. Good.
As far as the council meeting last night, that was some of the bigger items. One more I guess I should mention is this. Out on 231 North, in the area where Hunters Point Golf Course used to be, there's some neighborhoods are being developed, and there really needs to be a turning lane out there. So last night the City Council voted to approve a turning lane again, paid for by developers. This is more of a public-private partnership between us and a developer to get a turning lane out there to make 231 North, to widen it, put that turn lane in there and make it safer for people traveling through there. So we think that's important as well.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I've noticed some activity out on 141 coming into town, some surveying and stuff going on. Are they getting close to letting a bid on bringing that all the way into the bypass?
They are. So TDOT is continuing to work on 141. They've actually approved a bid with a contractor. They have been to the city for their pre-app meetings and talked to us about lights along that new highway, about moving utilities and those types of things. So people should expect to see that construction start pretty soon. That's going to be a multi-year project. TDOT, I think, estimates that to take about 3 years to get that completed. Yep. But they are going to start that. That's been a long time coming.
It has.
You live in Hartsel Pike, you know that a lot of that road's been done for a long time, except for the part inside the city. So we're finally going to get our part finished, and that's something it's going to be a big deal, not just for people who live on Hartsel Pike, but for the entire city. Just so people know, it'll come out at a different place now, further east up on the bypass from where it is right now. So the bid has been approved by TDOT, and they're about to start work.
Good. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, that will be a big help for a lot of people. Sure will.
But as far as the council meeting, that I think those are things that really are important for people to hear. There were some cleanup items as far as the last budget coming over to this budget, those types of things, more internal type business. But outside of that, though, there are some things that have been happening the past couple of weeks that I think are important. Buff City Soap had their grand opening last week. That's the last store to open in the old Kmart building. So right there with Marshalls and Ulta and Ross and Five Below. So Buff City Soap, it was a great opening. They had a big line of people out there. The first people in line actually got there at 4 o'clock in the morning to be able to be the first ones in. And something I thought was neat that day is that, when you go in there, they have soaps and detergents, and they can make whatever scents that you want. But they had some specialty soaps. They had Blue Devil soap and they had Phoenix soap. So anybody who's a fan of the Blue Devils or the Coleman Phoenix, go in there and grab some of that. I got some of each.
Yeah.
And so that's something they did, not just for the opening, but they said that they're going to have that throughout. So So I thought that was interesting for a little local flavor to honor our local teams like that. And
well, have you tried it yet?
I have tried it. It smells good.
All right.
It smells good. So so we're excited about them being here and that investment and really that entire redevelopment there. You asked me during the break when this Firehouse Sub is going to open. I'm not sure, but the building out front by the highway is close to being complete, and I think those stores in there, they'll be open pretty soon too.
Good.
Also, people see the big green pipes out on South Hartman Drive, and so we have an update on that. They are our new sewer line going out that direction, and that's going to feed into the Dale Webb development that's going in out there, and then a lot of the commercial and retail things that's going to come along with that. Again, that sewer line is developers are putting about $12 million into that. But one of the reasons I mention it, but people may notice going down West Main right there by the creek, by O'Reilly's and by the bank there, that sewer line is about to start crossing West Main. And they're going to bore under the road and put that in, but people will see construction there. And so so I just want people to be on the lookout for that, because that's going to happen. And you and I were at a special event last week. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital honored Dr. Bone.
That was a great event.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dr. Bone played a pivotal role in getting that hospital started decades ago, and I thought it was really nice that they honored him that day with that really nice plaque that's going to be hanging on the wall in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it was a very well-deserved honor for Dr. Bone and everything that he has contributed to this community for many, many years, and I'm pleased to say that my wife Pam and Tom Kiefer and Dr. Paul Stum put in a lot of time working on that and working with the Vanderbilt people to make that happen. And I told Scott McCarver that I'm glad they made that happen.
Well, and Pam worked for Dr. Bone for a long time too.
She did. Yes, she did. She sure did. And the Bone family means a whole lot to Pam and everything that they've done and she's been a part of. So that's all good things. The Bone family has been a very big part of this community for a long time.
They have, and different parts of it too, not just hospital, but Coleman University and several other things as well. So they have meant a lot to this community, and they continue to be as well.
Yeah.
So that was a nice day, and I appreciate Scott and everybody doing that. Historic Lebanon also had their farm to table event a couple weeks ago, and that was a nice event too, to raise money for that nonprofit, and had a great chef-inspired meal there that night right there on College Street.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was part of that too.
Yeah, and so that was a big crowd, and Kim Parks and her group, they do a great job protecting our downtown area and the square, and that's a really important event for them. So so I was really honored to be able to attend that as well. And then last night, Lebanon Police Department, they organized their annual night out over at Don Fox Park, and I want to thank them for that, and also thank all the other agencies that were there, because it's not just the LPD. The Lebanon Fire Department was there, the county agencies, Mount Juliet was there, and it was really a great night. Kids were out there. We passed out hot dogs, had jumpy houses, and a lot of music was being played. I think everybody had a really good time climbing on all the equipment.
I'm sure they did. Seeing all the things that the Lebanon PD has to offer, and the Lebanon Fire, and we don't ever need to forget what those folks, the role they play every day to keep our community safe. And
well, as I said on 9/11, there was an event that the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce hosted, and I was honored to speak at that. And I said, when you sign up for that job, that takes a lot of courage, because there may not be something happen every day, but that day could happen.
Yeah.
That day could happen where they're going to be in the line of fire, and to be able to get out there and protect us, have people do that, it's it's really a courageous thing to do, and I appreciate everything that they do every day.
Yeah. Well, I guess we need to maybe close this thing out by saying we hope the Big Orange continue to play well. And
well, we have a week off, so we won't lose this week.
That's exactly right.
But I do have one more thing to say, though, Larry.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is my wife Nicole's birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Nicole.
So I want to say happy birthday to Nicole, and so I hope she's listening, and she listens just about every week, and since I mentioned her name, I hope she's listening today.
Well, I do too. Happy birthday, Nicole. Yeah. What's she, about 22 or 3?
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
I thought it was. Well, this is Larry Tomlinson, and it's been a pleasure for me to sit in for Coleman today, and I want to thank MJ back behind the glass for all she does to keep this show rolling, and producer Billy for keeping us on the air, and for Susie allowing me to come in and be a part of this great radio station. And I hope the people that's listening have enjoyed our show, and I hope that you'll always remember what an important role that WANT, Big 98.9, plays in our community. Once again, thank you for listening to the Coleman Show. Hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you later.